Hello and welcome to my third tutorial on learning Photoshop series. This tutorial is going to be about layers. So I want to teach everybody how to work with layers and how the layers panel works. If you go over here to the right side, this is your layers panel. And we're going to bring in an image here that has multiple layers. So I'm going to go File, Open. We want to go to DHS Shared, Business Ed, Graphics, Unit 3 Layers, and I'm going to open up Postcard Layers. Now this is a complex graphic built with many different layers, and you will see those layers over here on the right side. You'll see a pen layer. You'll see a Euros layer. Now, there's a little eye icon next to the layer. If you click that, you can hide that layer. Okay, I can hide the Euros layer. I can hide the Our Roman Holiday text, the rose, the couple. Okay, so I can hide those, either get them out of the way or just see what's on that layer. And you'll see the little thumbnail that tells you what's on that layer too. Now you'll notice the pen layer is the top layer. So if I grab the move tool over here on the left side, the pen is above everything. Okay, because it's on the very top. You'll notice anything else goes below it. But if I scroll down to the coin, you'll see that, well, let's go to the couple. Click on the couple. You'll see the couple is below the pen, but it's above the coin, and it's above the Colosseum, but it's behind the rose. That is called the layer stacking order. Okay, the way these layers are stacked is how the order goes. Now you can easily grab a layer, click on the pen, click and drag that below Colosseum, for instance, and now the pen is below all those different layers. It's still above the coin, but it's below the Colosseum, the rose, and the couple here. If I want to move that back up to the top, I simply grab the layer and drag it to the top. So that's my layer stacking order, and how I can position layers. Now sometimes you get a bunch of layers and you decide, okay, I want to connect these layers. I want to make two layers connected to each other. So you say, okay, I'm going to drag this couple. The couple and the roses are where I want those to be. So I'm going to make this one layer. So we're going to merge those. Easy way to do this, click one, hold shift, click the other. I'm going to take and right click, and I'm simply going to go merge layers. Now if I click merge visible, every single layer with an eyeball next to it is going to merge. But I just want to merge the ones I have selected, so I click merge layers. Those now become one layer. If I want to name this layer, I can double click on the text and I can type a new name for my layer. Say couple and roses. So I know what is on that layer. That becomes a merged layer. Now any layer you can manipulate what we call the opacity. Okay, I'm going to go down to this passport layer on the second from the bottom. The background's white. Here's the passport. If I hide or show that with that eyeball, I can see that passport. Now, maybe I want some white to come through that passport so it's not so definite. It's a little more faded. Well, on any layer, I can change what's called the opacity. The opacity is right here. 100% opacity is a solid object. Okay, you cannot see through it. But if you adjust the opacity down, let's say I adjust it to 50%, right around 50%. Now I can see half of the object and half through the object. If you go even more, you're going to be able to see more of the white and less of the passport. So you can adjust that opacity slider on any object. I'm just going to move this to around 50% and let it go. But yeah, any object. I could click on the Euros, this cache down here in the bottom right, click, change the opacity. how transparent does that become? That's what the opacity slider is going to actually take and adjust. Now we can also duplicate layers. So I'm going to grab the euros here. So here's my, sorry, not the euros. I'm going to grab the coin. Here's my coin. Okay, I got to be on the layer that, I can't be on the Coliseum layer and try to move the coin. It's not going to work. It's going to move the Coliseum. You've got to go to the layer you want to move and be on that to move it. So here's my coin layer. I'm going to bring that up to the top. So I'm going to click and drag and drop it at the top. Okay, and we're gonna play around with this coin. Now you can transform any layer as well that you want, that you're on, that you have active. If I go to edit and go down to what's called transform, I can scale this layer, which means I can change the size of it. You want to hold shift to keep it in proportion. Hit the check mark to stamp it down. I can go edit transform. I can rotate that. I need to go outside of the object and turn it. Stamp it down with the check mark. I can go edit transform. I can skew, distort, perspective, warp, flip it horizontal so it's facing the other direction. I can do a bunch of different things. A great shortcut to know is Control-T, which stands for free transform, which allows me to scale, rotate, and stamp down an object at any time. If I want a more detailed thing, like a specific rotation, or I'm skewing or distorting, then I'm going to probably want to go to edit transform and then go and select those more, you know, those more detailed or trickier transformations. But now I have this coin. Let's say I want to make another coin. Well, I can simply make a copy. I just right click on that layer and I go duplicate layer. Name it what I want to name it. I'm going to name it coin 2. Press OK. So now there's a coin 2 on top of coin. Looks like 1 still, but that's because it's laying on top of the other one. Okay, but I could go ahead, go Control-T, you know, hold Shift, change it. I'm making money. All right, duplicate it again. Right click, duplicate layer. So I just right click on that, click duplicate layer up here. Coin, I'm just going to change this to say coin 3. Press OK. There it is, coin 3. Edit, transform. Let's go back to flip horizontal. You can flip that coin horizontal. Edit, transform. Let's say we just do a distort. You'll see what distort does. It allows you to take and distort one side. You can kind of make it look like the coin's bent or it's turned in a different direction. It kind of gives it more of a three-dimensional look maybe, or a bent look. So that's how I can duplicate layers. Deleting layers, real simple. Go to the layer you want to delete. Roman Coliseum here. Don't like it. Go to that layer. Okay. I can right click on it and go delete layer. That works. I can hit the trash can down here. That works too. I can press my delete key. That works too. So bunch of different ways to delete a layer. Now, say you want to add a new image to this actual postcard. You simply, all you got to do is open that image up. So I would just go File, Open, and I have it right here in that Unit 3 Layers folder. I'm going to open up Coliseum. Okay, so here's the image I want to place onto this image. So what I do, I just grab the Move tool here. I'm going to click and drag and hover on its tab until it becomes active. Drag it down, drop it, and I can place that image. It becomes a new layer right there on my picture. So that's how I add a new image. All right, now let's take the couple and the roses. Let's say we want to flip them. Edit, transform. Okay, I could go ahead and I could go flip horizontal, and I could move those guys over here so they're facing a different direction. I don't like it. I'm going to go Control-Alt-Z to step backwards. Control-Alt-Z. Control-Alt-Z. And get it back the way it was. So, all of these things, these different modifications of a layer, are in the transformation menu. Edit transform. And you can see you can do a bunch of different things. Warp is pretty wild. You know, so now you can kind of stretch it. You know, sometimes you need to cheat and get something to a corner. You need to cover a certain amount of area. You could warp it. I mean, I guess you could resize it too, but I don't know, you can kind of stretch and change the dimensions of something with warp, so it's kind of cool. I don't use it a lot, but it's something that's kind of cool. Now, you can also add layer styles to an image. If I go click on one of my coins here, I'm just going to go to coin, and I'm going to kind of move it so you can see it. But every single one of these layers, you can add what's called a layer effect. Okay, or they call it a layer style. If you go to the FX menu, which I think of effects, click on it, and you can see there's a drop shadow on this already. But there's all kinds of different layer styles you can apply. I can apply outer glow, for example. Okay, and I'm going to get this dialog box that's going to say outer glow. Now, one thing you want to change is the blend mode. Change that not from not screen to actual normal. But then you can actually make the size of this bigger so you can see it. You can see that glow on my coin. You can take and size it bigger. You can spread it, which I don't think looks very realistic. So I don't want a lot of spread. Size looks better. I can change the opacity. Again, how see-through is it? You know, all glows are somewhat see-through. The noise, which is going to make it a little more grainy. I don't like a lot of noise. I can change the color. So if I wanted a light blue glow, I could do that. The default glow is what a glows usually are associated, kind of a light tan, light yellow type glow. But I can add an outer glow. That's what's called a layer effect. Now, another layer property that we can add is called a layer mask. Okay, and that's how we can hide a part of a layer without actually losing that part of the layer itself. So, if I go back to this couple in roses, and I was to put a mask on this, so I put a layer mask on this, the mask button looks like kind of like a camera, a rectangle with a hole in it. If you click and add a mask, you're going to get this white box. Okay, at this point, nothing is masked. If you throw a mask on, what are you doing? You're hiding something. Okay, you throw a mask on your face, you're hiding your face. Is your face still there? Yes, it's still there, but it looks different on the outside. Okay, but it's still there. So that's how a mask works. White means there's no mask. Everything is being seen as it normally is. Okay, but if I paint with black, I can hide a part of that layer without actually deleting it or erasing it. So what I need is I need to have black as my paint color. I go over here to my colors, my foreground color. I see I got white and I have black. Okay, I can by default right above to the left, I can click on that to make it white black. I can click the next button to switch it. So I want to switch to have a black paint. I'm going to go up to my paintbrush, click on it, set my brush size. So I want a little bigger brush here. So I'm going about 77 pixels. I can set my hardness. I'm going to set it to 100, which just means it doesn't have a fuzzy edge. Its edge is definite. And I could take and I can mask these leaves, say. Okay, so you're not going to be able to see those leaves. Now this looks bad because I'm getting into that picture, but I'm masking the leaves. I'm getting rid of the leaves. I'm not getting rid of them completely, but I am hiding them right now from the picture. I could get them back if I wanted to. You can even see I got some kind of glow around here that I maybe want to mask that up. I got some green right here. It's going to be tougher to get, so I'm going to change my size. I'm going to go Control Plus and zoom in, just so I can see this a little bit better. I'm going to take that green out of there. Okay, and I've masked. Now you would think there were no leaves. Okay, Control minus, zoom back, no leaves. Now, if you look over here on your layers panel, you'll see that that mask is covering, the black part is hidden. The white part stays the same. Now, if I want to get that part back, I'm going to switch my foreground color to white. Grab my paintbrush, and I'll make this brush bigger. If I paint it back white, I get it back. It unmasks what I hid. Okay. Because now my whole square is white again, which means everything is visible. Anything black is hidden, anything white is visible. And that's just a simple layer mask. So I'm going to close these. I'm going to say no to save changes. I'm going to go File, Open. I'm in that same folder, Dolphin Layers. Open up Dolphin Layers. Okay, so here's another complex image made of different layers. We got a green moon, we got a dolphin, we have a purple moon, we have stars, we have a background. The background is locked, which is fine. Okay, but I can move any of these layers. I click on that layer, I press move, I'm moving the green moon. If I want to move the dolphin, I need to click on the dolphin so I can move the dolphin. If I want to move the purple moon, I'm going to click the purple moon to move the purple moon. If I click on the dolphin, again, here's my dolphin. Now, I could go Edit and go Free Transform or Control T. I can hold Shift, I can grab, I could resize that dolphin to a different size. Maybe move them off the screen. Move the purple moon over here. And grab the green moon and move that down to the bottom left. Okay. All I'm doing is manipulating layers and where layers are located. I can actually move the stars. And you can see the black background versus the stars. If I wanted those stars bigger, I could go Control T. I could hold Shift and make the stars bigger. Stamp it down. Double click. If I move the stars to the top, oh boy, where did everything go? I've had students do this and they don't know why they lost everything. Well, you didn't lose everything. You just have stars are covering up everything else. Your stacking order is not good. So move that thing back. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about layers. That concludes tutorial 3, all about layers. Thanks for watching.